I had 2 surgeries on my butt. I was in so much pain, like, oh my goodness, I was in so much pain. So after the surgery, I'm in the hospital room, and the doctor who did the surgery on me, he come up and, you know, asking me how I'm doing and everything, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I felt like I almost died. And you know how doctors are, he was like, I'm thinking he's playing, but you know, that's like not a nice way to play. I was like, oh, I felt like I almost died. He was like, no, you almost died. And I'm like, seriously? He was like, no, I'm not playing. Like, you really almost died. Like, if you would have waited a little longer, you actually could have died from the infection. I'm like, oh, you serious? So that whole week in the hospital and everything, and I have 3 children, like, oh my goodness, like, I went through so much behind getting that BBL.
I'm sure you want to know, why, Naka, do you keep talking about BBLs? Are you jealous of the BBL baddies? And you really are asking the wrong question. The question you should be asking is, why are so many other Black women silent? So why I talk about BBLs is because that is going to be your highest level. Even beyond, you know, all surgery is going to be considered, you know, high stake. But I would say the BBL is going to be the highest of the stakes because it is the most dangerous plastic surgery. And it is also the surgery that Black women are getting the most. Black women, brown women, and women of color. But again, I focus on Black women on this channel. And so when it comes to beauty standards, if I'm talking about beauty standards, I am going to fixate on the BBL the most, again, because it is a surgery that is dangerous. And my issue is that although the surgery is dangerous, the danger of it has, in my opinion, been downplayed, right? And so we know that there's a risk that comes with anything, you know, with anything you do, there's a risk associated. I think oftentimes because of whether it's the culture, the Instagram culture, of being a baddie and wanting to look a certain way, this is a procedure that a lot of women want, and it's pretty affordable. So no, I am not jealous of BBL baddies, because if I wanted a BBL, I could get one. I have my own level of confidence, but I also have my own insecurities. And particularly, I'm a woman in my early 40s, I'm 41. So when you are a woman of a certain age, this is around the time where surgery becomes more popular. Not only because, you know, you can more than likely afford it, but also because our bodies are changing. You know, I would be lying if I didn't say that there was no pressure, whether it be from the Black community or society, or, you know, I think most modern women experience pressure on some level to get something done at some point. It may not be a BBL, it could be a tummy tuck, particularly if you have children. You know, a lot of women are interested in the mommy makeovers and things like that. And I would be lying myself if I said that I haven't considered certain procedures. Not a BBL, but, and if you have bought my book, or if you want to buy my book, you can see in my book that I actually do talk about this. There's so many stories of Black women that have not been told.
Gonna need a blood transfusion. Our hemoglobin is low. We went from over 12 before surgery to 8, and now we're at 5, so we need a blood transfusion.
And a lot of these stories are right in front of our faces. They are existing right here on YouTube. And, you know, some of these videos that these women posted saying that they almost died getting a BBL, or they almost died getting, you know, a mommy makeover, it just exemplifies how many of these stories are out there. So the woman that you're seeing here is married with 2 kids. her husband did not want her to get a mommy makeover and a BBL. She got the surgery done in the Dominican Republic. This woman ended up getting sepsis. She was in a coma. She had organ failure. As a result, she had to have a kidney transplant, and she had to get her toes amputated. So, and what's interesting about her story is that she is pretty positive throughout, but again, I mean, she has several videos about her journey through this process, but many of her videos don't highlight the regret or sort of the sentiment that she should not have done this. And even though she can't take back that decision, you know, in terms of her getting the surgery, I was looking for a video that maybe warned others about the dangers and maybe highlighted some of the things, such as, you know, perhaps she should have done more research on her doctor, or, you know, whatever it is. So the interesting thing is I still don't know why all that happened to her. I don't know if she knows why all that happened to her. And this is an example of my concern. You're seeing stories about women regretting their BBL or almost dying. That is just a fraction of how many stories are really out there. And, you know, and these women who put these videos up are very courageous to do that, to, you know, put themselves out there and share their stories. I can say my concern with some of these stories is that, you know, you'll get to the end of the video and you're expecting the woman to be like, oh my gosh, you know, like, I will never do that again. That was a, you know, horrible decision. And, you know, my kids would have been without a mom. And sometimes you'll get to the end of these videos and they'll say, yes, I almost died, but I don't regret it. And I would do it all again if I had to. You know, yes, I almost died. However, even the woman at the beginning of this video, she said something to the effect of, if someone had told her that she would have almost died, it wouldn't have changed a thing. She still would have gotten the surgery. You know, if she had have known how risky it is to do, she still would have done it. Many of them are not aware of the pain. Like, it shocks me to see how many women talk about the pain was so unbearable. They had no idea the pain was going to be that unbearable. Why? Because they were watching YouTubers vlog their you know, surgery journeys, and apparently making light of it, making it look easy, because they're only showing you the parts that they want you to see. They're only filming at the time where maybe they look the best, or they're not down bad at that moment, they're not crying, you know, they're not. So, but the reality is that I have heard that it is, you know, the pain is excruciating. And again, women going into this being unaware that the pain is that bad, you know, and then some of the issues that I've heard come from this: staph infections, bacterial infections, sepsis, and blood transfusion. And again, this is not this is not normal, right? Like, this, we shouldn't be normalizing this, and it is totally normalized. Like, oh, you know, and again, we're not talking about surgery to save your life or surgery that is something you need to do. We're talking about women who have children who are going and doing this, being completely unaware of what they're doing, thinking that they're just going to leave, you know, and in 2 weeks or a month, they're going to have this amazing curvaceous body. And the reality is, many of them are like bedridden for much longer than they expected. They realize later that to get the look that they want, they actually needed multiple BBLs, and some of them don't have enough fat to make that happen. So there's so many layers. And again, I think these videos serve for some people, because many of you subscribe to me from my BBL videos. I think these videos serve as a point of reference. People are looking for an analysis. People are, you know, and men too. Some men just are curious about wanting to know, like, what's going on with Black women in their bodies, right? So just know that getting surgery sometimes can help, you know, for some people. It can improve their self-esteem, make them less insecure. But for a lot of people, surgery leads to more surgery. Fixing one insecurity leads to now fixating on another insecurity. And so for me personally, I have not had any surgery, although I have insecurities. And yes, there, I could, there are surgeries for those, whatever my insecurities are, there is a surgery for that could fix that. I have just chosen the route, at this point in my life, I've chosen the route of working internally on being more secure with the insecurity. And that is a lot of work, to be secure with your insecurities. And so, no, I don't make BBL videos to demean Black women or because I'm jealous of women with a BBL. I actually make these videos to be informative. However, there is a component of it being entertaining. And so that is part of my my content as well, is to entertain while educating. So let me know what you think about this. The Black woman's body is a hot topic. It's a deep topic, and it can't be minimized. No matter what people try to say to make it seem like talking about a BBL is minor. And that's another way that people gaslight, because this is not minor. Anything someone is willing to risk their life for is not minor. So if someone wrote in the comments, you keep talking about insignificant things. The BBLs are not insignificant, because there are many women who have lost their lives. They're not here anymore because of this surgery, and because they were not informed. And sometimes it's, now you can't even blame the doctor. Sometimes it's not the doctor's fault. It's just people's bodies do different things. But they were unaware that death could even, a lot of these women don't even think that death is even gonna ever happen. They don't even see it as an outcome, as a potential outcome. So these videos are actually serious videos, but because I infuse, some music and some visuals and things like that, I think some people might think that it's insignificant or I'm making light, but I'm not making light. So I will keep showing up and talking about this. And if you guys have ideas about more things you want to know about Black women and our bodies, let me know. The BBL keeps coming up because the stakes are so high, because Black women are losing their lives, and sadly, some of them don't care. A lot of Black women believe that this topic is none of their business because, there's this whole thing about, well, it's her body, it's her business. But I'm going to talk to you in my next video about actually why this topic is our business. This topic of Black women getting BBLs, getting surgery, not only is it our business as a community, it is my business as a Black woman and as a content creator. So stay tuned for that video. Thanks for watching. This is another curated legacy production, and I am here to make the invisible visible about modern Black women. I highlight the things that Black women didn't tell you about. So like, share, and subscribe. Click the links in the description box to learn more about my business, Curated Legacy LLC, and my coaching and consulting service. Join the Black and Invisible YouTube membership group and purchase my book on Amazon about being an invisible Black woman. And as always, stay tuned for more videos.